you recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, get it.
Juan, you're in my shot.
Hey, get it.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to. Hi guys, it's been a long time coming, but we have finally started the first episode of the That's About It podcast. Yay! So, like I said, it's been a long time coming. I'm just a serial procrastinator, and that's why it's taken so long for this to finally unveil itself. But I am honestly so excited. I can't wait to go on this journey with you guys, to really, look back and see like how much things would have changed in like a year's time, 2 years time. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you guys what this podcast is actually about. So the That's About It podcast is honestly just like a video diary for myself. I feel like in your 20s, you really need to like document your life. Because even though a lot of people say, oh, the 20s was the best year of my life, the 20s was the worst year of my life, I feel like it's important to document that period. So this is kind of just like a video diary to myself that I'm just going to happen to post on the internet. And if anybody wants to, stick around and listen, that would be great. So honestly, we're just going to talk about anything, honestly, life, relationships, Jesus, because I am a Christian. Yeah, I serve the Lord. But fashion, music, film. I love film. I'm a creative at heart. I love like watching movies, reviewing movies, so stuff like that. Games. I love gaming. I'm a gamer. Not really, but I'm not that good. But I dabble a little bit. Sports. I love sports. I love being active. Literally everything. Music. Well, I think I said music already, but I meant like in the way of playing instruments. Yeah, because I play the electric guitar. Okay, I'm not trying to brag. Oh my goodness, I'm probably going to cut so much of this out. But what I am trying to say is this is going to be literally like a video diary, a personal diary to my future self that I can look back on and see just how different I am compared to I don't know, Faye who's 30, or Faye who's 50 even. So yeah. Okay, so for the first episode, I'm sure you guys have seen the title and you're like, oh, origin story. She's probably going to tell us all about herself. No. You don't need to be in my business all like that. I ain't going to tell you, oh, back in the day when I... No. We can get into that later on. I feel like for my first episode, I want to talk about some of my favorite origin stories. I'm going to like weave my own personality and how the characters kind of relate to me, if they relate to me in any way, into the like profiles. But this is more like my top 5 favorite origin stories. So you kind of get to know me through these people. So it's a bit of a tit for tat. Like I don't want to just sit here and talk about myself for like 40, 30 minutes. So, and I had a lot of fun researching this. It was so fun. Like it was so fun researching these people. But it's a top 5. So, and it's in no particular order. I don't have like a favorite. So first up, we have a very famous historical figure. In fact, I think he's okay. I'm not going to say he's the most famous because I don't even know how you would quantify that, but he is very famous. He was a dictator. He was definitely a dictator. He conquered a large majority of Asia during his time. It is none other than my boy GK. Yes, Genghis Khan. I know you guys are like, what? What? Faye, Genghis Khan. Why are you even... Listen, when I break it down for you, you guys will understand. So he was born in 1155 and his original name was actually Temujin, and before he later developed the name Genghis Khan. And he was actually the chief's son of his village. So during that time, in that area, they would have different chiefs instead of like, I guess it's another word for like a mayor or a president. No, maybe not president. Maybe more like No, let's just say mayor. I think mayor is the best equivalent. So when Temujin was 8 years old, his father went out to seek for Temujin's hand in marriage to another chieftain's daughter to strengthen relationships, hopefully gain like some army men or anything like that, or just like resources like food, whatever they used back in the day for their weapons. I didn't research that, I'm not gonna lie. And this is where the story gets funny. So Temujin's father ends up finding him a wife called Hanuje, and on his way back he sees this rival clan who he knows that there is quite a bit of tension between his clan and that clan. So at first he tries to just head on by. He says, "Hey man, I'm just strolling through. I don't want any problems." They say, no, you finna sit down. We gonna talk. Yeah, in fact, we're gonna kill you. So they offer him. So they come up with the pretense of like, oh hey, you must be tired. You've been riding for like 3 days. Just stop with us. We'll host you. Oh come on, you're the great. What's his name? What was his father's name? You're the great Yesuje. Like us humble servants. We would absolutely love to host you. No, we don't have any problems. Why would we have problems with you? You're a great guy. So he's all just like, oh, okay. I thought y'all was, it's kind of nice in here. He getting all relaxed, taking off his robe and everything. They serve him a plate of food. He's like, I haven't tasted this delicacy in a minute. So he's yomping up that food. He's yomping it up. He finishes his food. They say, "Oh, okay. So you can now be on your merry way. We've served you. We've given you lodging. So you can head on." Unfortunately, that food was poisoned. Yes. Gotcha. So unfortunately, Yeshujay dies, and this has very harsh repercussions on Temujin's whole family. His tribe ends up betraying him, and they actually put him in captivity. They capture him and his whole family. They captured them and they placed him in prison. Temujin ended up escaping the prison or cell that they'd kept him in, and for a while he lived in destitution. That man was broke. No food, no water. He was just getting by. And here's where the plot twist comes. So a couple of years have passed, and his brother is now sort of in a position of power, but not in a large enough position of power. So their family is no longer the head of the clan, obviously, because daddy dead. But his brother still has some sort of like authority. So Temujin says, here's an idea. If I kill my brother, these people respect me, right? Right? Because, I mean, he's my family, so they'll know that I'm willing to do anything. And, so Temujin kills his brother, his older brother. Yeah. And it works. It works. I couldn't tell you why. I don't understand the logic, but it works. And he's able to strengthen his position within the tribe again. It's also said that Temujin never wanted to give up on his family, so he really tried to provide for them during those long winter months when he was planning his revenge on his rival clan. He was very resourceful, very hardworking. I mean, no wonder. Bro killed his own brother like crazy. But yeah, he was just a really, really, really like one-track mind kind of guy. He ended up arranging to marry the girl that his father had originally set out to marry him, and for some reason her father agreed. I'm not gonna lie to you, if it was my child, I'm not sending you over there, because the last man that came to ask for your hand in marriage died on his way back. So clearly your family is not, y'all have some bad, and then the whole of your family ended up being put in captivity, and then the younger son killed the older brother. I'm not letting my child marry into a family like that. That is weird. But, during those times, and well, to give a bit of context, Temujin was a bit more established within his community now, so he had a bit more money by this time. So I guess the man was probably just thinking, oh, my daughter's old enough, she's been here for so long, oh my gosh, she's 14, she's a bloody old woman at this point, isn't she? So, and Temujin's wealthy enough that, yeah, I might as well, nobody else is gonna marry her. Her bloody eggs are drying up. Like, these people are so weird. So, like I said, Temujin has some of the worst luck I've ever experienced. And his wife was unfortunately captured by raiders. Yep, that poor lady. I'm telling you, fools me, my child is not going anywhere near that dude. He's weird. But fortunately for Temujin, his charismatic personality allowed him to gain a lot of alliances, and he was able to build himself up, and he was able to eventually rescue his wife. Cute, I guess. But the biggest thing for me in his origin story was how, number one, the fact that he killed his younger brother. Listen, this one is not the one that I'm relating myself to, because I don't see any of myself in this dude. I don't see any of myself in this dude. But number one, the biggest thing, killing his older brother. Number two, the fact that he was able to go from absolute destitution. His family had been captured by their own clan and put in prison, and he escaped, survived for another 4 or 5 years, killed his older brother, got back into the clan, built himself up, married a woman. That woman unfortunately got captured, used his charismatic personality to get people to back him to go and rescue his wife, and then ended up conquering so much of his community. This dude is one of the what's his stats? I need to see his stats. He's one of the biggest conquerors ever. I can't remember the exact number. I'm gonna put it up here. But he literally conquered so much. And he's responsible for the Great Wall of China. They did that because of him. He's actually a trendsetter. He's that guy. He's really that guy. But yeah, that's Genghis Khan. Okay, next. I'm so excited for this one. Okay, wait. Next up, we have such an important figure within so many of our lives. When I was growing up, he was my uncle for a little bit. Not for that long, but And we are talking about the infamous dragon warrior, Uncle Iroh.
Sometimes life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
So, Iroh's origin story is, I feel like a lot of people already know his origin story, but I just feel like it's such a good origin story that I just have to include it. He's amazing. Don't get me wrong, he's not perfect, but the change, the way he was able to change is crazy. So he was born he was the oldest son of Azulon and Illa. And he was originally the crown prince of the Fire Nation. So he originally went to go train with other benders because he was seeking enlightenment. And then he would later lie and say that he killed the last dragon to preserve the species and allow the sun warriors to remain undisturbed, which is why they call him the Dragon of the West. And also the fact that he can breathe fire, that's why he was called the Dragon of the West. So where his origin story really gets crazy is when he was coming back, his daddy died. And although he was the crown prince, his younger brother was named the Fire Lord. Apparently at the request of his father, Azulon himself. Like his dying words were, "Oh, Ozai, please, do not let Iroh take this throne." Girl, bye. It's giving Daenerys. No, not Daenerys. It's giving, what's his name? It's giving that dude from, I forgot the name of the show. The Game of Thrones prequel. House of the Dragon, yeah. It's giving House of the Dragon when Homeboy was dying and he was like reciting the adage that he would always say to his daughter, and then the wife misinterpreted it that he wanted his son to become the next ruler rather than his daughter. And then she realized her wrong and she didn't even want to accept it. She said, it's too late now. You know, I could even just start rambling about that show, but that's not what this is about. Homegirl in that show really irritated me. Like, I could not stand her. Anyways, but yeah, so Iroh had he was a very charismatic boy, man, teenager, young adult. And he was always interested in firebending, and expanding his knowledge and gaining insight from other people. So he went out, on a, I'm going to discover myself type beat. And, he learned a lot of abilities, even learned how to breathe fire, helped preserve the dragons. And then he's now come back from his little quest and his daddy died. And suddenly his younger brother is king. Interesting. Personally, me, I wouldn't have it. I just wouldn't have it. I would not have it. Okay, so the next one is actually the character that inspired me to sort of come up with this idea, because I just remember I was rewatching a couple of episodes of the show and I was just remembering what? I just remember watching scenes with him and being like, what? What? So confused. And that is Creed from The Office. Yes, Creed. So Creed is the most mysterious man ever. In The Office, don't get me wrong, a lot of the characters, we don't actually see their lives, but everyone in The Office, apart from Creed, we've kind of saw into at least a slither of their life. For example, I'm gonna talk about the less integral characters of the show. So Meryl, for example, we know about her kids, we know about the van that she drives, we've seen scenes of her outside of the office. Oscar, we saw his relationship with the mayor, we saw him out on dates and kissing people. We saw him outside of the office, we got to know a little bit more about him. Angela, we would see the pictures and videos of her cats, or her relationship with what's his name, Dwight. Who else is there? Even Daryl, we would see his sister, we would hear about his ex-girlfriends or whatever, his daughter. We got to see into their lives. Creed, on the other hand, first of all, that's not even his real name. That's not even that man's real name. His real name isn't Creed. His real name is not Creed. I found that out when I was I forgot about it, but then when I was researching it, I was like, wait a minute. So the thing that shocked me most, first of all, so he says this line, he's like, nobody steals from Creed Bratton and gets away with it. The last person to do that disappeared. His name, Creed Bratton.
Nobody steals from Creed Bratton and gets away with it. The last person to do this disappeared. His name,
What? What? What does that even mean, Creed? What does that even mean? So he's basically, first of all, he's admitted to murder. he's he's admitted to murder on camera. First of all, that's just. Second of all, he's just told us he's also committed identity theft. And third of all, we now know that his name is not Creed. So who are you? Who are you? Nah, I don't think the only scene I've seen where like Creed has been by himself outside of the office is that one episode where they were talking about drugs and then he immediately left. Like, I think it was like he walked in, Dwight said something about all those drugs and he ran. I've never seen that man's legs move that fast.
I made a mistake.
Sorry I'm late, boss. What's going on?
Sir, there has been a murder, and you are a suspect.
Okay. Hang on just a sec. Let me settle in and I'll be right back.
Very good, very good. Now, no one was there in the wine cellar.
Nah, Creed is actually crazy. So Creed says he's born in 1925 at the start of the show, which would make him 80 years old. Now, I'm not one to be ageist, but really, Creed? 80? Come on, dude. Like, I think he might just be schizophrenic, you know, like, or a pathological liar. But it's crazy, and it just gets worse. It gets worse, guys. I was going through like Creed clips in the office, and there's a specific episode where there seems to be like some sort of feces. I think it's human feces in Michael's office, and the first thing to come out of Creed's mouth is someone making soup. I'm actually gonna put the clip here because.
Hey, guys. Somebody making soup?
Because when I saw that, I said, what? You really need to think about the implications of him saying that. That means his version, his ideal, his sensory glands, when they smell human feces, they associate it with soup. What is this man consuming? How is he providing himself sustenance? What is he putting in his body that his nose and his mouth, because you smell through your nose and your mouth, would associate human feces with soup? Oh my goodness. And then I just remembered another one. So he also faked his own death. Okay, so let's just, so we've got murder, we've got identity theft, we've got, I don't know if it's really a crime to associate soup with human feces, but if he's consuming anyways, and we've also got faking his own death. And I'm kind of assuming that's not so that he doesn't have to pay taxes. And oh my goodness, he faked his death, he killed Creed Bratton, took on his identity so he doesn't have to pay any tax. Because he just has the name Creed Bratton. And I think he has like Creed Bratton's like stuff, but he doesn't. Oh my, wait, he's kind of smart. Hold on. I mean, he did commit several crimes to achieve his goal, but hold on. Oh. I believe he's also homeless, which doesn't make sense to me. Actually, it does start to add up with the human feces comment. Also, he was apparently the leader of a cult at one point. Like, who is this man? Do you know how much money leaders of cults make? How did you go from being the leader of a cult to being homeless? It just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. And then he also, I remember him saying he wanted to set Jim up with his daughter. So he just casually dropped that he has a daughter. And then at that time, Jim was dating, was it Karen or Pam? I can't remember. Jim was dating someone. That guy's always dating people. Um, and then Jim was like, no thanks. And he was like, oh, I thought you were gay anyways. So why did you, what? Creed, please. The dude is just, I don't even know what's up with him. There's another one that I'm like, I mean, the weed one was probably the funniest one to me, but that's like small in comparison to everything I've just listed. But to have a character in the show, because I feel like I really need to like express how every single character in the show, we have like some sort of background information on. And we have like at least a look into their personal life. Creed has no, like, his character is done so. And I remember in the first season when Michael had to choose between Creed and some other guy to fire, that was the only time I've ever actually seen Creed like use his brain, like use 1.1% of his brain. Like he was begging, manipulating Michael, let me keep my job. I think that job is the only thing holding Creed together. I don't believe he has a daughter, first of all. I believe that he killed Creed Bratton. I believe that. I believe that he faked his own death. I even believe he was the leader of a cult. What I don't believe is that he's like... I don't even think he's broke. I don't believe that he's broke. He says he lives in poverty, but I don't believe it. I don't. He's a crazy guy. He just dropped that he has a daughter. What? And she's old enough to go out with Jim. But he's also 80. So how does he... What? And he was born in 1925. Creed, please. But, you know, ultimately, unfortunately for him, his lies do catch up with him. And he ends up being arrested in the... Oh, spoiler alert. If you haven't... I mean, The Office is like 20 years old, guys. Please. But he does end up being arrested in the last episode of Dunder Mifflin. But there was like a interview later on with the actor who plays Creed, and he suggested that, or he theorized that Creed is probably no longer in police custody, and he has definitely ran away. He's definitely gone. And, you know, he's on the run, as he normally would. I feel like The Office, Dunder Mifflin was just a cover for him. Like, it was probably another stop along the way. Like, he'd probably been arrested and fled and then ended up in Dunder Mifflin, and he's just been hiding there. And then unfortunately he got arrested again, and he's just going to move on to his next venture. But yeah, that's Creed. I have no similarities to Creed. In fact, as I'm reading these out, I don't have any similarities to any of these characters. They're all crazy. I mean, apart from Ira, but Ira has done some bad things as well. Like, I'm kind of biased, so I didn't really include, like, all the murdering and killing and evil that he's done. But he is a great guy. Okay, guys? And I can fix him. Younger him, not the older one. The older one is definitely uncle vibes, please. But next we have, oh my gosh, the goat. The goat. And as I said, you guys know I'm a Christian girly, so I just had to include someone from the Bible. And who else would I include other than, like I said, the goat? Paul. The Apostle Paul. The real G. Like, he's the real definition of doing a 180. Bro said, I'm gonna go from killing all of y'all to saving more souls. Hallelujah. He was literally the Punisher of his time. This guy was the boogeyman. Like, people would be in the streets and they hear, oh, sorry, should I say Saul? Yeah, Saul was the boogeyman. Saul was the Punisher of his time. People in the streets would hear Saul and start shivering in their boots. Shivering in their boots. Oh my goodness. Wow. Like, imagine being known for just killing Christians. That's crazy. So this was something I found out when I was researching. I didn't actually know this. So Paul was actually Jewish, first of all. He was born in Syria. And up until like his midlife, he was a Pharisee. You were a Pharisee, huh? It's starting to make a whole lot of sense now. Why you was killing them Christians. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all know I don't mess with them Pharisees. This is kind of just like a tidbit, but with The Chosen, which is a great TV show. Recommend for any people who just want entertainment. The show is so entertaining. Like it's genuinely just an amazing piece of media, an amazing piece of Christian media. It's so beautifully written, directed. The shots are great. Like I remember I was watching one of the episodes, and this is a weird thing. Like, have you guys ever watched a TV show that normally uses like specific shots, and then it just suddenly goes cinematic for some reason, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? Like I remember watching one episode, and they just suddenly had this like beautifully done shot, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this from you guys, but get into it. Yeah, so The Chosen's great, but back to the point. The Chosen is really what opened my eyes to Pharisees, and now I know that Paul was a Pharisee. His ideology kind of makes sense, and he also believed that he was the best Jew. Like he thought he was pecan pie and a slice of ice cream. Like he thought he was the cherry on the top, the best, God's chosen child. Like he really thought he knew everything. Girl, bye. From the account, it states that he probably went from synagogue to synagogue, encouraging the persecution of Christians. Unfortunately, his exact reasonings for doing this are unknown, but I definitely think that it originates or leans into his Pharisee tendencies. Jesus, I can't speak today. Because the Pharisees they just hated Jesus. I really don't know why. Like, he's healing the blind, raising the dead, helping souls, and you guys just can't. It doesn't sit right with your soul. That's the devil. That's a demon. Yeah, that's sin. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, now for the turning point. I mean, this kind of isn't his origin anymore, but the turning point was also kind of crazy. I really just want to emphasize, I don't think, I want to paint the picture of what Paul was like. Paul was killing Christians. Like he was a Pharisee, which is not a Christian, but they also believed in God. Like the foundation of the religion was the same. Christians also read the Torah. Like they grew up with the Torah. So it's not like this is like he was persecuting Greeks or Hindis or something like that. No, he was persecuting people who had the same religion as him growing up, but they just adopted this new way of thinking because they either met Jesus, were preached to by Jesus, or one of Jesus's disciples, witnessed one of his miracles, what was part of a miracle of Jesus. He was killing he killed some of them personally, but he was going to the synagogues and going up to like the people in power and telling them, hey, you see those little Jesus groupies? We need them out. They gotta go. I don't mess with them. Like, and he did this for a number of years. I keep saying Paul, but during this time he was actually Saul. So yeah, Saul was on a warpath. Like I said, he was a Punisher. King Kong ain't got King Kong ain't got nothing on him. Damn. So yes, so Saul was on the road to Damascus, probably to do some more killing, when a bright, blinding flashlight. And what I didn't know about this story is there was actually 3 witnesses there, and they also saw the light, but I don't think they didn't hear Jesus. So Saul saw a blinding light, and he heard a voice cry out saying, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Why do you do this to my people? And then Saul proceeded to ask, who is this? He says, I am Jesus, the one you hurt, the Lord and Savior of all. You know, like God's Son, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that type. And Paul was like, oh my goodness, no. Akira, leave me alone. he was like, ah. And then the light rescinded, and Paul was actually left blind for 3 days. He also fasted during those 3 days, but he was left blind for 3 days. And his witnesses, or his whoever those people were, I think they were like his followers, helped him to Damascus, where, you know, he received his sight again from, who was it? It was one of Jesus's. God appeared to a member of his community and told him to go heal Paul and Saul, and that was his changing point. So all in all, like, Paul's original story or origin story, Paul's origin story is like, it's one of the greatest messages of like, you don't have to remain the same thing for the rest of your life. Like, you can always change. Like, there can always be a change. Like Jesus actually loves all of us, because if Saul, the man who killed so many of God's children, could turn around and become one of the most famous and revered apostles of all time. And I know he's up there right now, like, playing b-ball with Jesus. Like, I know he is. Like, I know when Jesus, like, when he gets like a tricky prayer, he be like to Paul, like, what? Paul, come look at this. Like, I know he is. And he was killing them Christians. He was. And somehow he made it. Like, God is so good. He's so good. Ugh. Like, it's crazy. Like, he was just able to change his life like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the most famous book in the world, he wrote a good 60 to 70% of the New Testament. Like, the New Testament is literally just Paul's it's Paul's autobiography. It's Paul's XOXO. Corinthians, Galatians. It's okay, Paul, we get it. We get it, your story. I feel like a lot of it was just, he just really wanted to prove himself. Like, he just couldn't live with the fact that he'd killed that many Christians. I know he was hurting inside when he saw that blinding light and Jesus said, why? And he said, no, Akira, leave me alone. Oh, yeah. So, moving on, Katrina Petrova. Yes. Katrina. How many times did I say your name? What? Catherine Pierce?
Please. I'm Catherine Pierce. I'm a survivor.
She's that girl. Yeah. First of all, no, she actually never got a break. Like, you people never, you guys can never make me hate Catherine or Katrina. You can never make me hate her. I don't care what kind of propaganda the Vampire Diaries did. All of you people were trying to, you can never make me hate her. You can never. When she was still a human, Katerina Petrova lost the love of her life at a tender young age. Do you know what that feels like? For the love of your life to die. Not only that, she became pregnant. She then had to go through a long, grueling 9 months of fostering that child. And as soon as she gave birth, she didn't even get to hold her child for 0.2 seconds. And it got ripped away from her. And she never saw the child again. Just try to fathom that at like the age of like 16, 15, you've carried this pregnancy and you've been able to have this child, and it's a girl as well. Like, it's your little girl, it's your baby, it's like your twin. She's gone. You're literally like, somebody takes her away and you never see her again. And you're just crying, please, no. And you just have to live with it. You just have to get over it. You just have to keep going. What? So you then happen to catch the attention of these two brothers. We all know who those brothers are. No, not Damon, it's different. I'm talking about Nikolaus and Elijah. Yes, the OG brothers. So you happen to catch the attention of these two brothers. You find them both adequate, you know. You kind of like the Elijah one more, but the Klaus one seems to be a bit more domineering and maybe has slightly more money. So you lean into their into their flirting, into their advances, but it's not really that. And you're not really sure why they're so like hung up on you. But you like the attention, so whatever, like, you're a girl. You're just a girl. Is that too much to ask? Hello? Anyways, so you then win the affections of this man named Travis, who reveals to you that the reason why these two men are actually pursuing you is not because they find you attractive or they think you're worthy of suitor or marriage. No, it's because you're actually a famous mystical being, i.e. a doppelganger, and they wish to use you as a sacrifice to release a curse that's been placed on them for over, I don't even know, hundreds of years. Yeah, so you obviously run away, like any common person would do. And Travis promises you this place where he can give you shelter or safety until you move on, or you find another place to go to, or you reconnect with family and you escape. So you get to this place, and the lady that's there, she said, wait, who did you say is after you? Klaus Michelson? Baby, no. You going back. You're going back. Yeah, I'm not getting on that guy's bad side. No way in hell. Klaus? Like Klaus? Like the original Klaus? Like the dude who's killed hundreds of vampires? And oh, no. You're going right back where you came from. And now you, this poor, defenseless young lady, are now faced with either death or death. There's no in between. You're going to die. So what do? You say, well, if I'm going to die, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to take my own life. At least I can have that self-autonomy. And then you wake up 5 minutes later to find out you've actually been turned into a vampire. So you couldn't even escape Klaus in death. And now you have to spend the rest of your life running from this man. Oh, by the way, you can no longer be used for the sacrifice now because you're no longer a doppelganger, you're now a vampire. So you now have to spend the rest of your life running from this evil, vindictive man because you didn't want to die. And you've also unfortunately put Travis and Rose, who was the friend I was talking about, you've also put them on the run for the rest of their lives too. Yeah. And in your 17, 18-year-old mind, you're just looking for some sort of comfort, some sort of strength, some sort of knowledge, wisdom. So you head back towards your family, your origin, your home, to find your entire family slaughtered. The women, the children, the maids, the cooks, the gardeners, the damn floor cleaner, everybody dead. Everybody is dead. Like, everybody is dead. And, Klaus leaves his little signature, so it's him. So not only did he force you to kill yourself, in revenge of you committing suicide, he killed your entire family. And you realize that, wow, you're never going to escape this man. He is going to come after every single person you ever love or who you ever get close to. So you now not only have to run away from this man for the rest of your life, you also have to be cautious that anybody you love, care about, get close to will also fall under this man's jurisdiction and is now also a fellow victim of the Klaus charades. You're cooked and you can't die unless somebody stabs you, with a stake, but you can't die. And he doesn't want you to die. He wants you to hurt. He wants you to suffer. So he's not going to come after you. No. He's going to come after every single person. Even if you just talk to somebody, he might kill that person. Like, it's terrible. At the age of like 18. And she has to do this for the rest of her life. So yeah, when she, tricks Damon and Stefan, yeah, it may seem bad. But they were the ones lusting after her, like she was just being resourceful. She knew Klaus was going to come after her at some point. So she had to, find herself a buffer. Sorry, you guys can never make me hate Catherine. Especially when Elena is her doppelganger. No hate to Elena, please. The Elena fans, don't come for me. Don't come for me. But I'm just saying, like, Elena being the doppelganger, I just can't hate Catherine. Because Elena is the reason that Klaus even ended up stumbling upon her again. So, yeah. And that was it, guys. That was the list. That was my top 5 favourite origin stories. So, yeah, this has been a fun first episode. I can't wait to do more. If anybody ends up watching this, if you guys have any suggestions of what you want me to do next, I do have a couple of episodes already planned in mind, but I'll be open to suggestions, anything you guys want to give me. I'm also going to be doing some YouTube videos, aside from the podcast. I want to step into my fragrance era because I've been really getting into fragrances and oils and stuff like that, so I want to show that side as well. I'll also be doing little YouTube videos. I might, maybe if I can get my gaming setup done properly, I might even step into my gaming era. But yeah, I can't wait, guys. I'm so excited. This is going to be so great. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be such an amazing journey. But thank you guys so much for listening. If you actually made it all the way to the end of this, thank you so much. Please do follow me, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I've been watching YouTube for so long. YouTube is actually the only social media app I have, which is crazy, but I've been watching people do this for years and now I'm doing it. So yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe, click that notification bell so you can see when my videos are coming up. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.